Okay, amazing. So I'm going to run you guys through marketing funnels and content. Now, all of these three are three kind of different realms. They're all within the same sphere. Now, marketing, this is going to be the most important part because a lot of you guys, like I said, we've already broken down your offer, your ideal client avatar. Some of you have already reached out to people. But the main reason why it mostly feels difficult to convince people, convince is a strong word, but to kind of get people to buy from you is most of the time because your marketing is not strong enough. Okay? So what I'm going to teach you all today is how to actually strengthen your marketing and what marketing is, how you market, how you strengthen it, what a funnel is, what content is. This is stuff you need to know if you're selling online. It's going to be a little bit of a technical session. I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. If you have questions for me after, that's totally fine as well. Okay? So by the end of the session, I want you to understand the fundamentals of marketing, how to attract with content, and how to create your core assets. Sounds like fancy words. I promise you, it's not that complicated. Now, what is marketing? Marketing essentially is getting the right message in front of the right people enough times that they trust you so that they buy from you. I'll say it one more time. Marketing is getting the right message in front of the right people enough times that they trust you and they buy from you. Okay? Marketing is not about getting the most views. You don't have to get a lot of views to make money. What you need to do, the only thing that determines you that the amount of money you make is how much of the right people you speak to. I've had many times where we've had a post go viral and the post actually did not make us much money. And the reason why is because virality means that a lot of people see it. It does not mean that your target audience sees it. And your target audience are the people who will buy from you the most. I can have a post that goes viral about motherhood, but if my target audience is let's say a more specific niche, like let's say women working in a specific career or professionals or high-ranking professional men, then I won't get much sales from it because it hasn't reached the target audience. So what I kind of want you to shift your thought process already is that the perception of I don't have much followers, I don't have many people on social media, or if you're starting from scratch, I don't know anything and I don't have that many people. It does not matter. What actually matters is your ability to reach the people who want your product and who need your product. So I see marketing really as a conversation. It's a conversation mostly that you're having with people. So you're not necessarily trying to convince them. You're essentially just trying to connect with them on the problem that you can solve. So for example, I'm not necessarily trying to convince people that Winner Circle is the best company ever, but I am trying to connect with them over the problem of their financial status, of their financial life. I am connecting with them through that because I can solve that problem for them. So marketing is when like I said, I get the right message in front of the right people often enough that they trust me and buy from me. That means I know their problems. That means I know their solutions. It also means that I know essentially what that person goes through, and I market to reflect that. Okay? Marketing is not, like I said, chasing views. It's not posting randomly. Dear God, I've done this before. It's hell. It's also not talking to everyone. Marketing really is deciding who is going to get your attention and getting their attention. Who are you going to target? Most of the issues I see in marketing is that people just make posts for a very broad group of people. I think you all, when I was working with you all through your offer, I told you your offer is too broad. And the more broad your offer is, the more likely you are to fail. Because just because there are so many people that are most likely targeting just niches within that audience, that if you target the whole audience, you're going to lose to people in the niches. So just choose to be in the niches. Okay? So you don't want to be random posting. You want to be very, very precise with why you're posting what you're posting. So marketing is really kind of these four things. So number one, it's number one for marketing, you need clarity, which is who you help and what problem you solve. And that's why we took you guys through the offer creation document and the, kind of the product creator as well as the target avatar. Because the truth is that if you don't know who you're reaching, then there is no point at all in your program. There's no point at all in your marketing. Because all you're going to do is you're just going to spray, and hope you win. And you will win, but you'll be tired at the end of it and you won't know what to do. So without clarity and without kind of knowing who you need to reach, your message is going to be muddled. Your audience is going to be confused. The one minute they might feel like you know them, the next you'll feel like you'll lose them as well. And a lot of times for you to get people to buy your products in marketing, like I said, all you need to do is get the right message to the right people enough times. But if you get the wrong message to the right people, or you get the right message to the wrong people, it does not matter. So marketing is really 80% who you want to reach. It's not about making content. It's not about that. It's almost always about who you want to reach. And remember when we spoke about our ideal avatar, your ideal avatar determines where you market. Most women are most likely not going to be on LinkedIn. When I say women, I mean like mothers, excuse me. What would they most likely be on? Maybe TikTok, Facebook. It depends on the age as well. Now, because of that, you can now mimic what's already going on that platform. I'm going a bit ahead of myself, but you see how clarity kind of makes it so much easier to run. That's what marketing is. And if you're gonna target your ideal customer audience, you need to know what are they watching? What is keeping them? What platform are they on? What are their interests? How can I make content for them? Now, content in a real simple way is really just content is just a valuable piece of media that you make to post on social media. So it can be a video, it can be like a tweet, so something written like LinkedIn, it can be a photo, whatever it is. Content you should think about is something that can bring value to the person that you eventually want to buy from you. So, for example, you've probably seen that we made videos on how, God works in entrepreneurships and how you can be a better entrepreneur. That's us making content that is valuable to you as people who we want, to buy from us in the future. And because we knew the struggles of our target audience, we were able to make content for that target audience. Make sense? The second thing is attention. So, marketing really most of the time is attention. Attention, we're in an attention economy, which means that majority of the time people don't actually pay with money, they pay more with attention. And attention is worth more than money. Because if you can get attention, you can get someone's money. It's like the Bible says, where your treasure is, your heart is. Well, where your treasure is, your attention also is. Where I should say, where your attention is, your treasure is. Okay? Most of you that are on here have actually chosen to put your attention on creating a better life for yourself. That's why your treasure is here, your money is here. Because you chose to change. So attention really is learning how to hook. I'm stealing this from Alex Hormozi because I love his framework, but he teaches something called hook, retain, and reward. So getting someone's attention is down to three things. Number one is down to how you hook them. So how you, for example, get them to stay on a piece of content is down to how you retain them. So how you keep them on your content. So how you keep them watching. And the reward is whether they actually benefited anything from watching your content. So the hook, for example, on YouTube, a lot of times is the thumbnail because the thumbnail gets you to click. The thumbnail, by the way, is the picture that you see on a YouTube video. So the thumbnail will get you to click. Now, because the thumbnail gets you to click, you you've been hooked already. Now, how are you retained? Well, obviously by the fact that the video is consistent quality. It's useful to you. You want to keep watching because there's going to be a delivery of what you're actually waiting for. And then reward is obviously the fact that at some point in the video, what you're looking for is found. So if I search for, let's just say I'm trying to learn how to market, and I find a video that's on content, and the thumbnail attracts me because it says something like how I got 1 million views in 90 days. Then the next question then is what people will take you through then is is I click on the video and I watch the video because the video is retaining me based off the value it gives. And then I get rewarded because he finally tells me what made him get 1 million views in 90 days. So getting attention and making content is just three things. I'll say it again. It's hooking people, it's retaining people, and it's rewarding people. Now, this is important, obviously, because in whatever marketing you do, you're going to need to know this. Now, third thing that marketing is that I already said is trust. So I think we've spoken about this before. I've said multiple times, trust is trust besides attention. Actually, trust is more powerful than attention. Because if you have 20 people who trust you in a webinar, for example, it's better than having 10 people. It's better than having 100 people who don't trust you. 20 people who trust you are so much more likely to buy. And you can actually engineer trust. You can build trust. You can almost program trust through your content. You can get people to trust you. Think about the people that you watch now. You trust, our founder, Apostle Toby Arimi. You trust him, and obviously like this is all done with integrity, but trust can really be nurtured to an audience, to people that you will never even speak to. And I'll break down how in a minute. But the fourth thing is action. So in your content, I'm going to jump ahead of myself a little bit. In your content, your aim is to get people to take action at some point. So whether that's you sending them to a free product, whether that's you getting them on a webinar, or let's say on a paid offer, on a paid price, whatever that is, your job really as someone who is in charge and someone who is marketing is to get someone on a clear offer. Sorry, is to get someone to move forward on a clear action. That's really your main goal in marketing. Now, that works in a few ways, especially for some of you that have different products, and I'll go into it. But I think that's how I would summarize marketing in a bit. Now, does anyone have any questions off the back of that, of what I've said so far? Any questions? No? Okay, good.
I have a question.
Yes, Mirabel, go ahead.
I don't know if it's a question, but I have a YouTube channel, and so for me, it's more about how to retain people or how to get their trust, because you said that it's not about how many videos you post or something like that, but how do you gain their trust if, like, let's say you post every 2 weeks or every month? On how do you
Every
retain them?
month.
I'm just asking, just
Okay.
yeah.
Well, remember the definition of marketing is sending the right message to the right people enough
Yeah.
times. So a big part of marketing is consistency. Like if you put out videos twice a week, sorry, like once every 2 weeks, especially if it's like, let's say it's a 10, 15-minute video, like it's going to be hard to keep yourself at the forefront of people's minds.
That's true.
It's going to be very tough. Once a month, my God, is not enough. You should be doing at least once a week. And
Yeah.
especially if you're at a point right now, like the biggest creators, they usually release once every 3 days, you know? And YouTube doesn't take that much to create, trust me. Like majority of the times on YouTube, you don't need fancy editing. If you had a
Yeah.
schedule in place, you could literally record 2 videos on a Monday and put one out on a Wednesday and one out on a Saturday. It's very, very straightforward to edit. So if I think honestly for you, the biggest solution I'd say would be volume. You just need more.
I think that's been my biggest problem, because I did a video this weekend, but I haven't uploaded it because I edited it yesterday and I'm the one doing everything. So I'm trying to really create a good thumbnail, as you said, because it attracts audience. Because my last video, I think the thumbnail was really good. So I'm trying to do something of that sort. And yeah,
Hmm.
that's where I am right now. And to be consistent, it's a hard part for me also, because I want to do the video and then do one a week, upload one this week and upload one the next week. But I don't want to give any excuses, but I think I have to try and do once a week.
Can I
The
ask
big
you something? You know,
Yes. Okay.
when like for example, when people post on Instagram, when you like a page, or when you like somebody who is, selling or producing stuff like on YouTube,
Yeah.
you are and you like it, then you are waiting for the next one to come already. So what he said is true. It's consistent. You have to make sure you put as many out as possible, because people are really getting hooked on that.
Yeah. I have to do more. I think I
Can
have
I
one
just
that
ask,
I
Look,
have
looks like we have a second coach.
to.
can I
But she's right. Like the content game is mostly is you it's almost like you have to make the content, post it, and not think about it after you post it and focus on getting the next one ready.
That's how it works for me. I don't think
Yeah.
about it. But as I said, I don't want to make any excuses because my schedule is really tight, 9 to 5. That's so
Yeah.
it's really tight for me. So I try to
Mhm.
do videos on Sundays, no, on Saturdays. Then I do the editing on Sundays. So I upload on Monday, and Tuesdays and Thursdays I do post and short 60 seconds on Facebook and TikTok.
Mhm.
That's how I do it.
I think I'll show you a few tools that you can use to make it easier. So I use a tool called StreamYard to record videos. You can record videos on there, and there's actually an AI that can chop your long form into short form stuff.
How
But
did you, what's the name?
StreamYard,
Okay. Okay. Oh, I think I've heard
StreamYard.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can use it to go live on YouTube as well, but you can record stuff on it, and then you can chop it into pieces. Honestly, when it comes to making content, I'm jumping a bit ahead of myself, but it's 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 lowering the bar, because majority of the time people struggle in content because they have such a high bar of what they want to make. They want to make basically like cinema level stuff, or they want to make stuff that has like a lot of transitions, a lot of captions. And I promise you, when was the last time you watched a YouTube video and you really read the captions? You don't
I
need as
do
much as you
quite
do. You do quite a lot. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well,
a so
YouTube gives
yes,
you automatic captions, by the way. I just want to let you know, YouTube does automatic captions. But either way, it's the bar that usually stops you from doing the output that you need. So if honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you all. I personally edit Winner Circle's YouTube videos. I personally edit them myself. And
Okay.
it takes me about an hour. And this is like with like really strong
Oh,
camera equipment. Yeah. I use CapCut. I use
okay.
CapCut. I slap on a logo. I just watch through the video. And by the way, these are like 10, 15-minute videos that we're doing. I slap on a logo and I cut out if there's any sort of hiccups in between, let's say with the script, I cut it out and I post it because I'm keeping my bar low so I can actually do the output that I want.
I might need some tips because I use CapCut and I take like an hour or two. Yesterday I took about 2 hours. That's why I could not create a thumbnail.
Are you on your laptop or your phone?
I use my phone.
Oh, I use my phone too.
Yeah. I
That's
think
interesting.
Gail wanted to say something.
Gail,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Um, just on yeah, well done, Marabella, by the way, because I know I've got a YouTube channel and I know it is about consistency. So I will sometimes dedicate like a free period I may have, maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I will just record as many videos as possible, and
Mhm.
have them. Editing used to take me quite a while. That's why I've taken down StreamYard, and then I will basically have a library of videos which I will just upload every other day, every other day, every other day. So it is consistency, and that's how I've managed to get the few followers that I have, which I now have to funnel. But I wanted to ask you, Eros, have you got any ideas? Because I seem to be getting stuck on thumbnails. Have you got any ideas about a good program or platform I could use to help me create more attention grabbing thumbnails, or just ideas what a good thumbnail would be like?
Whenever I wanted to create thumbnails, I usually grab references. So I grab references in my niche. So for example, we're
Mm-hmm.
in the business education and consultancy niche. So what really works in those thumbnails based from the top creators is hard-hitting
Okay.
promises, one-liner promises, not too much background
Okay.
music or anything. If you're in a different niche, I suggest you get
Okay.
about 5 creators and you go on YouTube and you can actually
Uh-huh.
select most popular videos and you can probably see common themes within
Okay.
their videos. So the common themes usually three things. It's usually that they have a certain background image, they have a certain
Yeah.
pose maybe that they're in the thumbnail. So maybe they're always like this, or maybe they're always making some
Okay.
exaggerated pose. And then the fourth is that they
Mm-hmm.
usually have a one-liner image, a one-liner or a list within the thumbnail. So for example, a thumbnail can be like 3 ways how you can actually break your anxiety patterns. And then the thumbnail will say something like get rid of anxiety for life. So it's a one-liner.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one line.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hook in a way. And then the person maybe in the
Mm-hmm.
thumbnail is like this. And you think it looks corny, but the video has 50,000 views. So I would
Okay.
suggest looking at top 3 creators really in your niche. And then from there on, you create the background image using ChatGPT. And then
Yeah.
you can use AI to generate like an image of yourself in that post, but it's just easier to take a picture. And then obviously the text you can copy that, or you can use AI to at least make a copy of what you're currently doing, which you can use the custom AI that we have. And then really it's just that in Canva.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know if you've heard of Opus Clip.
I use Opus Clip, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Mirabelle, I don't know if you uploading onto other platforms, but Opus Clip is a really user-friendly device to just sort out all of your shorts.
No,
Yeah.
I've not
It'll
heard of
take
it.
okay.
We use Opus Clip. I was just trying to recommend more free stuff, but honestly,
Oh,
Opus Clip is not even expensive, to be completely honest. It's like 15
no, it's
pound a month.
not. I think it's yeah, £15 a month or something, and
It's
it's
15
worth
pound a
it.
month.
The only thing you can't upload on the £15 package is upload onto Facebook, so you'll just have to consider that. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
thanks.
Okay. All
Thank you,
right.
Eros. I appreciate that.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll keep moving. We'll keep moving forward on the next stage. So I'm going to talk about a funnel. Now, a funnel, this is arguably the most important part about marketing because a funnel is how you convert someone from kind of not knowing you exist at all to purchasing you and loving you forever. This is the most important part of any business. Most of the time, when I jump into a business, I am almost always looking at the funnel. Because at some point, if you're not getting customers, if you're not getting paid, you are leaking somewhere in your funnel right now. In fact, a good funnel is better than can actually what's the word? A good funnel can outpower bad marketing. Because majority of the time, good God, I just realized the lighting here is terrible. A good funnel can outpower bad marketing. Majority of the times, you can literally have your target customer literally flow right through your entire database. Your target customer can be lingering right inside all of your work, all of your systems, and you will never know because your funnel doesn't have a way that you can convert someone from a stranger to a lead and from a lead to a buyer. Now, I'm going to just define it. So, a stranger, obviously, someone who's never heard of you before, they've never seen a piece of your content, they don't know you exist, or they don't even know who you are, or maybe they know who you are, but they've never interacted with you. A lead is now someone who's shown interest and shared their contact info with you all. Now, I'm sure you all have seen this. How many of you guys have seen people who, let's say, give you access to a free ebook in exchange for your email? We've all done it, right? Okay, very simple. That is a very, very straightforward version of a funnel. Now, funnels have many different forms. There are funnels that maybe lead you to a webinar. There are funnels that send you to book a call with someone. There are funnels that just send you directly to a product without any contact at all. But the whole point of a funnel is that you're meant to kind of put people, number one, through lead acquisition. So a funnel is kind of built in 3 stages. It's built through lead acquisition. So that's you getting a lead. So getting someone to give you, let's say, their contact information because you've got something valuable for them. That's what a lead magnet is. We'll go into that at some other point. Um, That's, for example, what you guys all did with your free offers. So when you guys DM'd people, you got their information and you got access to them for free. And in return, they gave you a testimonial, or maybe they gave you a review, whatever it is. They are now a lead. A lead is someone, like I said, who's shown interest and who has given you some sort of information that you can contact them again with. So once you've got the lead, there's then a second stage called lead nurture. Now, this all sounds technical, trust me. I have to say it once for you guys so that I can keep saying it in the simple way and you guys will get it. There's lead nurture, which is you getting your lead. There's lead, sorry, acquisition, which is you getting your lead. Then there's lead nurture, which is you actually securing your first lead. So that's you actually getting the person to actually trust you more and understand. Remember, like I said, marketing is getting the right message to the right people enough times that they buy your product. So lead nurture, for example, is our email list. I'm going to be honest. Everybody here gets, let's say, our weekly emails from Tap and Win a Circle, right? Does everybody here get them? Okay, Ulrika and Mirabel said
I did,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. If I was to say that you've read, how many would you say that you've read right now? Just give me a number. How many emails of ours would you say you've read?
I think probably 90%.
90%. Okay. If you were to put a number of it, would it be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50?
Maybe 40. I don't know. Just
40 emails.
almost all.
Almost all of them. It can't be
Yeah.
all. I've sent like 200, but
Yeah. Yeah.
probably 40.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ulrike probably around the same amount. Okay. That whole thing where I was sending you guys weekly emails. Weekly emails. I don't know how much Dr. Nana's read, but that whole process where I was sending you weekly emails, all of that is lead nurture. That is the process of me delivering my message to you so that you can trust me more. So that you can trust me, number one, as an authority. People buy from the authority. People do not buy from someone who does not believe they can solve their problem. Simple, right? The people who believe you have to be an authority to get people to buy from you. And the way you can be an authority and no one knows, and it doesn't matter. All of you are an authority in some space, I believe, at least to some degree. Like I say, you don't have to be an expert. You can be at step 5 and help someone at step 1. Okay? To that person at step 1, you're an authority. Maybe not to the person at step 10, but to the person at step 1, you're an authority. Your job in marketing is to get that person to understand that you are an authority and trust you enough to take a leap with you. That is what lead nurture is for. So once you've acquired the lead, you then nurture the lead. You nurture them by maybe you send them, you keep them through a weekly email list or a newsletter. You nurture them by sending them continuous content. You nurture them by giving them more free aspects, whatever it is, right? Whether people send updates, people send weekly emails, people still make content. Because even if someone gives you, let's say, if someone gives you their contact information, they're still going to watch your content. So that content is still going to nurture them. But the whole point is that there's lead nurture, there's lead acquisition where you get the person to give you the contact info. Then there's lead nurture, and then there's closing the lead. That's actually getting the person to buy from you. A lot of people drift in that middle section. Like Mirabel, you said you read 40 emails. I was sending one email a week. That means you literally sat there for like nearly a year. I'm just saying, like the way people can hover in there. That's why I think majority of you all, we sent the form to you all about how long you've been following us. Most of you said 6+ months. So that's how the lead nurturing process can go. Now, I'm not telling you guys it's going to take you 6+ months to get a customer. You can crowd that in, but lead nurturing is the process by which you get people to get people to trust you more. And then the final process is buyer. So that's really when you get someone to become a customer. And if you do your job well, they don't just buy from you once, they buy from you again and again and again and again. Okay? I think some of you are repeat buyers. I think Mirabel, you've been on a previous program of ours. Like some of you guys are repeat buyers. That is a good buyer, right? That means they enjoy your product, they feel like they get value from it, and they want it again. I'm gonna actually show you all how you can get people to repeatedly buy from you because it's not as complicated as it may sound. Now, here's why really funnels exist. So funnels really exist because you need to guide people to do the right thing. Even people that need your solution, I don't know why this guy looks like he's hiding himself like that. I need to work on this image. Please excuse me, everyone. We're Christian in this house. But this is an AI generated image. I didn't clock it when I looked at it, but right now. See, why is the doctor coming up to the camera like this? She's coming up to watch the video. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I hope you're paying that much attention throughout the whole talk. But my point is, right, is just ignore it. You guys are getting too distracted. I don't like this. You guys are getting too distracted. Oh, my bad. I accidentally clicked the meeting link. Whoops. Let me reshare this. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, we're on a bit of a time thing, so I'm gonna just run. Now, the point of a funnel is that you're supposed to guide someone through a process. So it captures interest, transforms it into something tangible. So email subscribers, builds calls, actual sales. The whole point of a funnel is that I can take someone through a predictable kind of chain of events. So I control what they go through, so I can control their perception of me. Now, I'm going to use quite strong language, and the reason why is because business it's a very strong thing. Okay? It's not something you do this with integrity and you do this with the aim to help people. But, in order to get someone to make the right decision for themselves, which is to buy with you, you are going to have to control how they see you. Okay? And this is whether you're doing this with your personal brand or whether you're doing this for a faceless brand. 'Cause I know some of you don't want to show your face. That's totally fine. Either way, you have to control your own media and your own outcome. And without a funnel, honestly, people are just seeing you, appreciating you, and leaving you. Now, there's 3 stages to a funnel. Now, I'm sure you all know what a funnel looks like, right? Everyone here knows what a funnel looks like? Okay. There's 3 stages to a funnel. There's top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Top of funnel is where people discover you exist. Okay. And when I say top, middle, and bottom, I just mean these are where people drift in your business. Okay? So different people are at different stages in your business. There's top of funnel, which is where people discover you exist. This is where you're helping people. This is where you're kind of reaching new people. This is the benefit of making content that reaches new people all the time. Really, your main goal is to kind of be visible at this stage, right? Then there's middle of funnel. This is where you get people to trust you. This is the lead nurture stage that I said about, right? This is lead nurture. This is where you get people to trust you. Maybe you give them a bit more specific advice. Maybe you move from some of you. Let me do a quick experiment. Did anybody here click a link off of a post about Chief, let's say sitting in front of his house next to 2 cars? Anybody click a link off of that post? Okay. Let me use that as an example. So we did a post, basically more of a lifestyle post of Chief, in front of his house, which is quite big, and in front of 2 cars, just because we wanted to show what you could do with online businesses. And that is top of funnel content because that gets attention. That video, I think, did 99.8 thousand views. So nearly 100,000. Now that gets people's attention, but doesn't get people to trust us. What got people to trust us was once they signed up to our webinar and we were able to actually put them through more specific help. This is where we send you guys value. This is where we do maybe more business-centric emails, more business-centric content. So every content has a purpose. The point of some content is to get people's attention. The point of other people's content is to educate people, right? One is to get people through the door. The other one is to actually get people to trust you. Then there's bottom of funnel. Bottom of funnel is where you take people to take action. This is where you send people to, let's say, webinars, discovery calls, or even just a landing page, like some of you that will be selling digital products. Whatever it is, this is where you kind of push people over the edge to take the next step with you. Now, like I said, majority of people drift here, drift here. Most businesses fail because they don't know how to move people from one to another. You're not failing. Most people don't fail because they don't have enough people, let's say, that know about them. Obviously, that's the biggest thing. If more people knew about you, more people would buy. But there's a lot of money that lies in this thing here, in the middle of funnel. Okay? Now, the reason I'm telling that to you all is because as you start your businesses, you're going to see that maybe you'll get quite a bit of attention, but not enough people, maybe not a lot of people will buy. And that happens in business, and it's usually almost always because of your middle of funnel. Okay? Now, there's a few ways to make a beginner funnel really, really simple. Now, this is regardless of what you're selling. This is regardless of whether you're selling a service. This is regardless of whether you're selling a digital product. This is regardless of whether you're selling whatever it is, right? This is a really simple beginner funnel. Really simple beginner funnel starts with top of funnel content. So that's content to your ideal avatar. That's content to attract your ideal person, which I'll talk more on Thursday because I really want to practically show you guys. But that's top of funnel content. You start with that. This is stuff that is to your ideal audience, which you guys should all have. If you haven't already, make sure you go and complete the ideal avatar document because you will not be able to make content without this. Now, once you've got your ideal audience, you have a free offer that will attract something valuable, that will give them something valuable in exchange for contact information. I will also show you how to build this. But the real goal of this is that you want to get access to people's emails and their details. Why do you want to get access to people's emails? I'm sure you guys have all wondered why does it feel like everyone wants my email nowadays? The reason why you want someone's email is because when I post on social media, I am so if I show you guys my social media here, right? I have, let's say, 1,000 followers. I think I have 1,300 followers. Now, majority of the time, those my posts will not even go to all of my audience. My posts will not even go to my entire audience. So if you see here, this is the proportion, let's say, that a post did on Instagram for me. So only my post only went 50% of my post views were my followers. The other 43% was non-followers, right? And if you look at this, majority of the time, people, Instagram doesn't even show your post to all of your followers. So if it's not like if you make a post and you have 1,000 followers, you're gonna get 1,000 views. No, no, it doesn't work like that. So the only way really that you can get someone's guaranteed to see your content and see what you're doing is through email. Because email, I'm targeting you directly. That's why people work so hard for email. Because email is the only place where I can guarantee it'll go directly to you. Content is a good place to get a lot of traffic. Email is a good place to get direct contact with someone. So once you've got your free offer, which, like I said, we'll break down how to build it. Essentially, you all have seen examples of it, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a free course, whether it's even free access to something temporarily. It's something called a lead magnet. A lead magnet is basically when someone gives you free access to something in exchange for your contact information. And the main goal, like I said, of that is just to is to get access to your details so they can convert you later and start nurturing you. I'll be honest, like I have paid for people's products like maybe a while later just because I gave them my email for an ebook that I don't even use anymore. People may use your ebook once, but you'll have their email forever. That's the real advantage that you get here. Now, if you're selling digital products, a big advantage that you get from this is that a lot of times digital products, what they suffer from, especially like something like, for example, if you're selling guides or courses or ebooks, a lot of time is that you're not able to reach enough people directly. But emails allow you to reach enough people directly. Emails allow you to reach the people that you need to reach without necessarily losing out on what you have, without necessarily kind of paying for more traffic. So that's the benefit of these free offers. Now, an email we'll get into, and I'll show you guys how you can do that as well. And then finally, after that is the sale. Now, I've skipped a big step between these two because, like I said, this is middle of funnel. All of this is really top of funnel. This stuff is middle of funnel. So as soon as they give you their contact details, they're officially in middle of funnel. There's a bit of a gap between this in terms of how you do it, how you sell people, what's the best way. It really depends on your product and depends on your market. But almost always this, if you master this, you will always make money. Okay. Now, I've already gone into free offer slightly now. A free offer is basically it's a tiny kind of yes that gets people through the door. Now, it's basically a low risk way for people to experience your expertise, or it's a low risk way that people kind of get their problem solved. So how many of you all have seen, let's say, an ebook, right? And that ebook is something like three things you need to do to stop to, I don't know, three things you need to do to stop to make more money in your business today, right? It's an ebook. You opened it, you read it, you kind of skimmed over it, maybe in like 5 minutes, and you're like, huh, this is good. And you never opened it again. The core point of this free offer, number one, is to get people's contact details, but it's to solve a specific problem very quickly. Once you solve that problem for that person, what's next after that? I don't know if anyone can guess it for me. What happens after I solve a problem for someone? A small problem for someone? Can anyone tell me?
No, you just offer them a longer term solution with strategy and stuff, and then charging comes in place.
That's a good guess. It's a good guess. It's a good guess. Not exactly, but I can see where you come from. Can anyone try a guess? What does someone have after I solve a problem for them? Like, what do I do? What does someone have after I've solved a problem for them?
Trust.
That's good. That's good. I'm going to tell you. After I've solved a small, very specific problem for someone, they have another problem. They have another problem. For example, if someone, I've seen the point of this free offer, right, is actually to reveal the bigger problem. So, for example, the point of if I've made an ebook. So, for example, one thing that we're starting to do is the 60-minute business planner. So we have a 60-minute business planner where someone can actually start and get their first client within 60 minutes. It's literally a straight ebook. But you know what happens when people read that? People read that and they're like, okay, I've got someone interested, but I have no idea how to maintain this person. I have no idea how to charge. How do I build this product? Where should I build it on? How do I get more? Like beyond my current net of friends. So in solving that problem for them of maybe getting their first clients in the immediate problem, I have created a new problem. And if you do it really, really well, the problem you create for them is the problem your main product solves. Is this making sense now, guys? Is this clicking for you guys? So essentially, this is what I said about you have to control the process. You get someone to understand, I have a problem. A real easy thing, for example, is how many of you guys have used the software that you got on a free trial, you really loved it, you started using it for like everything, and then like the 7-day free trial ran out and you were like, oh gosh, I need to pay for this now. That's a lead magnet. They got you in. Free access. So the immediate problem they solved for you revealed a bigger problem that now their product is just sitting there waiting to fix. All right. That's what our challenge did. I hope our challenge gave you a lot of clarity, the challenge that we did previously. We showed you guys what the next blueprints are, what you're missing in your business, what your mindset shifts need to be, how you can take advantage. Now your next question probably was, well, that was amazing, but like, how do I actually do this? Like, how do I actually do the technical side? How do I get the clients? How do I market? How do I find the product? And we were just there like, hi, we can help. And it's totally fine to do because you're actually telling people how you can help them. I try and give you guys a lot of examples with what we've done here at the Winner Circle because it's your experience. So you can recognize it, you can do it for yourself with your customers. Because your customers are people that need to be served, but majority of the time they don't even know they have the problem. So marketing is part of that process of convincing them, right? So, like I said, your best free offers solve one specific problem quickly. It provides immediate value to people. That's why, for example, I don't know who it was that showed me an ebook that they made, and the ebook was like 20 pages. I looked at them and I said, 5 pages max, please. Because it needs to be immediately valuable to them, right? That's what your free offer should really immediately solve, right? And it should also hint at your paid offer, but it doesn't have to. Like I said, this is top of funnel stuff. Some examples here that I wrote is an ebook outline template. It really depends on your niche, but a worksheet, let me not say offer builder worksheet, but a worksheet, 20 content ideas for your niche, a 5-day plan, an audit as well. Those things are really easy to do. Other extra stuff could be things like a workbook, things like even I've seen people create like, GPTs for ChatGPT. I've seen them use that as lead magnets. And the only thing is that you need to put your details in there. And it's free to create as well. By the way, lead magnets should be like these lead magnets should be very free for you to create, by the way. I think I already showed you how to use Gamma to create an ebook, so it should be really easy to create. Now, you can do two things with the people that you get from these leads. You can either number one, put them into an email list. Number two, you can DM them, so direct message them. So whether you get their numbers or maybe you get their Instagrams directly or their details. Um, Almost always, I recommend for email lists just because they keep you in the long term and you can have emails for years and it's legal, like it obviously provided that you don't share it with anyone. And they give you direct access to the audience, right? You own the list. You can always be sending value to people. You can be consistently nurturing people. They see directly what you want them to see. And if you have 5,000 people on your email list, you will send 5,000 emails and every one of them will get it. As opposed to if I have 5,000 followers and I make some posts and the posts get maybe 2,000, 1,300. It's a much more controlled process. And especially if you're someone that's selling something like digital products, this is so key. But even on the services side, like you, Mirabel, if you have services, this is going to be a really key thing for you because the more you nurture people, these people, the more they understand that you are the expert again, and they will want to be a part of what you're doing. And there are free platforms that let you do this. I'll break it down, like I said, on Thursday. But just off the top of my head, WAP is one of the simple platforms that I use for emails. You can also use well, Kajabi and Go High Level are paid, but I have a friend of mine that's using Kit, K-I-T, to also gain people's emails. Whatever method you choose, there's quite a few free versions, right? Now, DMs are better for closing sales because they're much more like back and forth. Emails are better for emails are better for when like you're kind of growing and you just want to nurture people like en masse, right? But you can do both. I'm just saying. You can very much do both. So, and by the way, when I say direct messages, I mean also WhatsApp. WhatsApp's a very good platform for closing people. Now, I think I've already said email. I already said why email matters. So I kind of jumped a little bit ahead of my notes on this one. So content is really, I think it's it says it there already for me, but content is really the engine that drives the funnel. Now, funnels mean nothing without traffic. I'm going to teach you all a buzzword. A buzzword called traffic just means people that are coming through your funnel, the amounts of people. That's it. Traffic just means the amount of people coming through your funnel. So let's say if I've got 100 people coming through my funnel, and then I've got a webinar coming up, if I've nurtured people correctly, maybe 50 of those people will come to my webinar, and then 10 will buy. That's how a funnel normally works, right? It just trickles down people. And eventually, as you follow through, if you do your numbers right, you will end up with the amount that you want. So all of you guys have to look at the income that you want and try and work backwards from how many views you need to get the views you want. So for example, when I could look at a YouTube video and I say, if I make a YouTube video, it's gonna get 10,000 views. Of those 10,000 views, 2,000 people will click. Of the 2,000 people that click on, let's say my free offer page, let's say 1,000 people will register for the free offer. Okay? Of the 1,000 people that register, half of them will attend the webinar. That's 500 people. And then I know that on every webinar, I can get roughly 20% of people to convert. So let's say 20% times 20% times of 500 is 100. So I know I will get 100 buyers. If I can get 100 buyers at 1,000, I've made 100,000. So you can really work back from it. Or even, for example, I'm going to give an example for Ulrike because she wants to sell digital products. If you just send people to a page and you know that 1% of people that come to a page end up buying from that page, you say, okay, 1% of people come to a page. I'm selling a product for £10. If I want to make £1,000 a month, I have to sell 100 products. So 100, so 100 people need to buy that product. And that 100% needs to be 1%. So 100 times 100 means I just need to get 10,000 people to see it. Now, this is the problem with low ticket because you need a lot of people, but it's workable, right? All you do is you get content to send people to that funnel. Now, by the way, when I said the 10,000, I'm actually going to tell you personally, do not sell something for £10. Just going to say it now. Please don't. It would be very frustrating. Don't do it. Um, but it's a good place to start. So content is really how you drive people towards your page. Okay. Now, I think I've taught you guys really the basics of content, but the goal of content is not views. It's not views. You should not aim to go viral. Your goal on content is just to reach the right people. That is it. Reach your ideal client profile. That is it. Is to reach your avatar. If you went viral and you didn't reach your target avatar, you failed. You failed. Your goal when you're making content is to reach the ideal person that you want. And you do that by highlighting their pain points and by illustrating their goals. Two ways. You target people by highlighting their pain points and by illustrating their goals. That's it. Because when you do that, you'll be able to hook people in. And then that's when I said, the thing about hook, retain, reward. Okay? So every piece of content really should aim to reach the right people, move them one step closer to working with you, which is where you send them towards your free offer, and then build relationships that lead to sales. Because let's be honest, after someone, let's say, opts in for your free offer, they're going to keep watching your content. So that content is going to keep building your relationship with them. Even if you're still sending the weekly emails to nurture, your content is also going to nurture. So your content has a kind of a twofold role. It's both top of funnel and middle of funnel at the same time. Now, when it comes to your target avatar, I think we already kind of went over this, but I was just bringing this up again in case. There's a document in the blueprint section on your target avatar, but it really should be who you help and and essentially like what you help them with. So, for example, I've got 3 examples there. I help busy parents who want to cook healthy meals in 20 minutes or less, or I help coaches who want to fill their programs without feeling salesy, or I help solopreneurs who want to automate their admin and reclaim their time. So you need to define this stuff because your content will reach no one and your views will be low and it'll make you sad. Trust me, it's better to have low views and high sales than low view and no sales. I have a friend of mine that has 8,000 followers. I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, in the realm of social media, it's not. And even when he had maybe 3 to 5,000, he was doing around 20,000 a month, just because he knew how to target his client avatar. £20,000, by the way, so probably closer to $30,000 a month. Now, there's 4 types of content really in this. There's problem-based content, which is where you address the frustrations and challenges your audience faces. This is probably the most powerful type of content. This is the content that touches people the most. I mean, a real example of this is, for example, I don't know if anyone's seen content about, content like psychologists make maybe about your inner child, hypothetically. Has anyone seen that content? Do you ever watch that content and just be like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I'm not that bad. But it targets a pain of yours. That's why you'll watch it. That's why you probably like it. That's why you probably follow it because you want to probably be more emotionally aware, whatever it is. But they've targeted your pain, right? Now that's really good to get people to trust you because you've obviously made them feel seen. But the second one is probably the most important in getting people to buy from you. Now, getting people to buy from you is once again, like I said, making them trust that you are an authority. And you get them to trust that you are an authority by making process-based content. This is when you teach people how, you teach them strategies and frameworks. You give you teach them stuff that you would actually want people to pay for. So I actually tell people, give away your secrets. Because I'll be honest, you keeping your secrets is majority of the time why a lot of business owners don't work. So, for example, if you're making content on women and boundaries, give away your secrets and then sell the how. So give away the what. So tell them this is what you need to do, and then sell them on how they can do it. So for example, I think I've like, there are a lot of business owners that will tell you, hey, this is what you need to do to market, this is what you need to do. And they'll do that as a paid product. But the best people that make the most money give away all the secrets because they give away the most value to people. So they actually tell people, this is what you need to do. This is the secrets that people don't tell you. And then they say, oh, but if you want me to help you do it, then obviously, this is where you would kind of work with me. So for most of you all, I would say that this part of here, this process content, so where you teach strategies, where you teach your frameworks, where you actually give away your best thinking, your thoughts, this is what really builds that authority. So, sorry, this should say authority, not trust, but it demonstrates your expertise. And it's where people actually genuinely get impacted the most. I mean, think about, like I said, to go back to my example about the psychologist, right? Her basically talking about that inner child stuff is giving away her expertise. That's stuff you would expect to see in therapy, but it's on a social media post. Why? Because the psychologist isn't selling necessarily the what, which is the knowledge. She's selling the how, which is the session with her, the chance to work with her, right? So all of you all should be telling your secrets, if you want me to be completely honest, and then give away the how on how people can actually get to the destination that your secrets talk about. The third really strongest way to make content is with proof. And this is why I told you all to kind of get that free offer because I'll be honest, majority of times people are just won over by this. If you just hold up proof that you are who you say you are, people are most likely willing to buy from you. Like if you just did a slideshow, you didn't pitch nothing, you just did a slideshow of all your clients that had good results from you, you could just keep quiet the whole time and just show the slideshow and people will walk up to you and ask how they can buy from you. So proof is really important in content, really, really important, which is why I'm gonna actually I'm gonna show you all how to get a really good testimonial because I think some of you all should have already gotten some free clients and you should have already delivered the service to them. And if you haven't, I'm watching you. Anyway, so then the final thing is pitch. Now, pitch really is just when you're getting people to do something. So pitching a lot of times can be something like telling people, "Hey, here is the what's it called? Um, here's my ebook. Go click the link below." That's as simple as what a pitch is. Now, you never ever want to get people to buy, let's say, a paid product based off of content. Very rarely. I don't advise it. I don't advise that, let's say you make like a video on Instagram and you say, hey everyone, I got my free ebook, it's 29 bucks, go buy it. I don't recommend it because majority of the time, and this is me jumping a bit ahead of myself again, but people don't buy from people they don't trust, right? And people trust you more the more time they spend with you. And I'll be honest with you all. If you look at just numbers wise, you don't really know. Okay. If you think about it, you would probably find it difficult to name your top five creators or your top five favorite people on Instagram. If you think about it. Think of five of your favorite people on Instagram, like influencers that you watch. Even for me, it's a bit difficult. Yeah, if you go on Instagram right now, you'll recognize like people, you'll like them and everything, but it'll be hard for you to recall them. Now, if I tell you to remember your five favorite YouTube channels, I've already got four or five in my head. I've already got Toby Rami, I've already got Alex Hormozy, I've got I've got Jason Fladlien. I've already got people because I have watched their videos. If you think about it, one 20-minute YouTube video, right, is worth 20 short form videos that are 1 minute long. You probably watch 20 short form videos from the same person maybe in a week, if they're even posting that much. Yet on YouTube, you can watch it with one person. That's why, Mirabelle, I told you to go on YouTube, because YouTube is just a much better platform for you overall. I'll go deep into it. Now, you can create content with your face or without your face. Now, I think it's better when people create content with their face because of what it does for your confidence. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So face to content camera is pretty simple. It's basically like talking head videos. You're obviously in the stream. You are the face of the brand. You're the person that's pointing people in the right direction. You're talking on things. It's a really, really strong way to build connection with people because you're a person. Faceless content is where you're mainly making like photo posts. You're making digital posts, for example, things that don't have your face in it. They can maybe have another person's face if you're making AI generated content or if you're using B-roll. But things like voiceovers, animations, this is what faceless content can be useful. And there's a lot of faceless content pages that are doing well. So you don't need to be faceless to, like, you don't need to have a face to win, right? I think both approaches work quite well. My only qualm is that I just think that usually you get a lot of experience and you get a lot better when you actually show your face. But that's totally down to what you would prefer. Now, just to kind of end it off, I'm going to do a quick breakdown on just different kind of platforms that I would recommend. So the platform that you are on is normally dependent on what you're selling. If you are selling a service, like you're selling things like, let's say, coaching or you're a consultant, I almost always recommend people to start on YouTube. Now, the reason why I almost always recommend people to start on YouTube is because YouTube is a platform that makes it much easier to nurture people. Like I'm telling you, there's a reason why I love Alex Hormozy the way I do. And it's because if the man has a 46-minute video, I will watch it. But I cannot tell you the last short form video that I watched, the last Instagram video I watched. I mean, I think everyone here watches, Toby Arami's Instagram, right? I bet none of you can actually say the last video that you watched from him. And the reason why is not because it's not memorable, it's just because you haven't spent enough time. You just haven't spent enough time with him. So your goal really should be to get your customers to spend as much time as possible with you. Now, if you are a faceless brand, obviously doing a faceless YouTube video would be quite different, quite difficult, which is why I usually point people to Instagram. And especially if you're faceless, then you're much better suited to doing to more of a you're much better suited towards a digital product business, like selling exclusively like digital products, like ebooks and courses and manuals and templates. You're much better suited to selling that as opposed to selling a service because people buy services more when there's a face. People are willing to buy products when they're from a brand, but people are more willing to buy services when there's a face at the end of it. Okay? If you're doing a service-based business, like I said, I almost always recommend YouTube because YouTube is just much more likely to find your target audience. It's much more likely to get your target audience acquainted with you, and it's much easier to sell things there. I mean, how many of you all have gone on YouTube and you've seen like a video that's like 30 views there, and it's maybe from a random channel. Am I the only one? Has anybody else seen that? Give me just a thumbs up or something. You go on YouTube and then you see there's like just one YouTube video from like somebody you've never watched before, and it's got like 50 views on it. And you know why they're doing that? They're doing that because the YouTube algorithm now is pushing smaller channels. As long as they believe that you are the target audience of that smaller channel, they will push you towards that. Then obviously, if you click on it, then the video will do better. But either way, I recommend YouTube so highly. Now, if you are looking to just sell digital products, you don't want to show your face, you don't want anyone to know who you are, I do recommend Instagram. I just recommend being consistent with Instagram so that people can actually get used to your face, right? The core goal is that to get someone to understand that you exist, that you can solve their problem, and that you're trustworthy. Remember, marketing is getting the right message to the right people enough times that they trust you and they buy your product. I said 5 points, so let's hope you guys remember them by Thursday. But that's really it. All right. Now, when it comes to making content there, like I said, there's so many ways to do it. There's especially with AI. AI actually can create the actual image for you. If you're recording a video, it's literally just CapCut that you can use. I don't know if you guys would need a couple pointers on that, but it's very much a very direct process. But the thought process that I want you all to have really, that I want you to take away until Thursday is I want you all to look at your ideal avatar, and I want you to find out where they are, like in terms of social platform, who they watch, and what content performs the best on that platform. So you need to find your target avatar, like I said, find where they are in terms of where is their platform, find out who they're watching the most. So who's the top creator in your space? And by the way, this doesn't have to be to your precise audience. This can just be to someone who generates the most of your audience. Okay? Like for example, me and Myron Golden don't share the same audience, but we've got cross links. We cross together, right? So when I look at what works for him, I'm like, okay, so audiences of my type are also gravitates into this sort of content. Make sense? Okay. Now, mm, Mirabel, let me know how StreamYard works for you. Just send a text, I don't know, in the support chat, and let me know in the VIP chat. But yeah, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that then. My plan really on Thursday is to kind of get more practical. So I want to show you all more practically how you can actually start looking at creating content, how to research more, how to actually create content for your audience. Okay? I can teach you all how to go viral. I think it's better not to do that. I don't want, I
Mhm.
want you guys to go viral, but I more want you guys to make money. All right? Cool.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I know some people here are newer than others. If you have not already, I really recommend that you go through the week 1 to week 3 and you look at the documents that I've attached there because I've put workbooks for you all to work through. So I put workbooks on creating your offer. I put workbooks on finding your ideal client. I've put workbooks on creating a product, the whole thing. It's in there. And I don't know, these guys can vouch for me. I hope it's good. Has it been good, guys? Amazing. Okay. So I'm gonna pause the recording and I'm gonna take some questions and then we'll kind of call it a night.